So we were looking at some really interesting material you shared, and this question kind of jumped out at me. Could AI, actually step into movie making and start doing the 3D design? Or even that amazing video mapping stuff we see?
Hmm.
It sounds a bit like sci-fi, doesn't it? But let's actually dig into what your sources are saying about how AI is already being used right now in creating cinema visuals, the 3D models, those big projections.
Yeah, it's a pretty big question. And the sources definitely show that, well, motion design, which is really the foundation for 3D assets, making graphics move, is seeing a lot of AI already.
Okay.
Think about algorithms that can, like, fine-tune thousands of little animation keys, those points that control movement, getting the timing and flow just right.
Right, that meticulous stuff.
Exactly. That used to take animators just hours and hours. So you can see how this immediately frees them up.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just tweaking, is it? Your material also mentioned things like motion tracking, following objects in video, and rotoscoping.
Oh yeah, rotoscoping, that incredibly tedious process of tracing over footage frame by frame. Yeah, AI is getting really quite good at automating that stuff now with pretty impressive accuracy, actually. It's a huge efficiency boost.
So with all that time saved, creators can actually focus more on the art, the bigger picture.
That's the idea. And the sources mention other things too. AI helping apply effects across lots of layers at once, syncing animation perfectly to sound, like getting digital character lip sync right. And even automating complex transitions. It's becoming this significant background force in post-production that really shapes the final look for you, the viewer.
And I saw something in your materials that really caught my eye, AI generating basic animations, just from text or images or like a mood board.
Yes, that's a fascinating area.
Yeah.
It means you could potentially visualize ideas much, much faster, maybe even get rough storyboards generated almost instantly.
Wow. Like having a super fast visual assistant right from the get-go.
Sort of, yeah. And the sources also touch on the technical side, like optimizing 3D rendering times, which can be a real bottleneck.
Right.
AI can streamline that, maybe even automatically clean up unwanted things in a scene. Plus, it can suggest different styles or color palettes, giving creators more options to play with. It could really broaden the visual language you see in films.
Okay, so with all this AI help, it brings up a crucial point from your materials. Does this mean traditional 3D design itself is, on the way out?
Well, that's the interesting thing. The sources strongly suggest no, not really. 3D design is still absolutely central to movies.
Why is that, though, given everything AI can do?
It boils down to hyperrealism, the sheer level of detail and cinematic quality you can get with modern 3D rendering engines. Filmmakers need that to build worlds that feel totally immersive and believable for you.
Okay, so it's about that deep emotional connection, the realism.
No. Exactly. Think about those incredibly expressive animated characters or stunningly detailed fantasy worlds. 3D is what brings that to life in a way that really connects with you as an audience member.
That makes a lot of sense. And your materials also hinted that the tools for doing this kind of 3D are getting easier to access.
Yeah, that's another key point. Motion capture tech is more available now. 3D software is getting more powerful, but also more user-friendly, sort of democratizing things.
Meaning more people can create these amazing visuals.
Potentially, yes. Which could lead to even more diverse and innovative visual storytelling for you in the future.
Okay, so let's switch gears slightly. What about video mapping, projecting images onto real buildings or objects? Where does AI fit there, according to your sources?
Video mapping still holds its own unique space. Your materials highlight its power to transform physical environments into these, dynamic story canvases. Creates really spectacular immersive moments.
Right, you see it at events, sometimes in films.
Yeah.
It has that wow factor.
Yeah, it does. There's something about seeing light and image interacting directly with a real surface. It creates a very tangible, memorable impact for you.
So while AI is busy automating digital tasks, video mapping still relies heavily on that physical interaction.
Pretty much. AI can definitely help create the content being projected, no doubt. But the magic of mapping, as your sources see it, is that blend of digital art and physical space. It's about crafting that unique audience experience for you.
Got it. So AI is clearly a massive influence, a game changer even. but maybe more like a superpowered assistant than a total replacement. That seems to be the vibe from your materials.
That's a good way to put it. We're seeing AI doing amazing things in video creation, generally automated content, facial animation.
Yeah, I've seen some of those AI-generated videos or short films popping up.
Exactly. They show incredible progress in speed and cost. But,
Yeah.
they still have limitations, right? Your sources point this out.
Like what specifically? What should you, as a viewer, maybe notice?
Things like lip sync, still looking a bit off sometimes, or movements not feeling quite natural, quite human, and maintaining a really coherent story over a longer film. That's still tricky for AI alone. Human artistry still have the edge there for your experience.
Right, and the influence goes beyond just making the pictures, doesn't it? Your materials mention AI helping studios make decisions too.
Oh, absolutely. AI is being used as a decision-making tool now, analyzing scripts, predicting maybe how audiences might react, even suggesting casting choices based on data.
Wow. So it's touching the whole process.
Yeah, from the first idea right through to getting it in front of you, not just the visual part.
Okay, let's circle back to the advantages AI brings specifically to motion design, which, as you said, feeds into 3D and mapping. We talked automation, but what else stands out in your sources?
Well, speed is a huge one, accelerating the whole production timeline, which means more time to try things out, refine ideas.
More iterative.
Exactly. And accessibility, too. It potentially opens doors for people who maybe don't have years of traditional animation training, helping them bring their ideas to life. You might see more varied styles reaching you because of that.
So, faster, more accessible, and I guess that probably means cheaper, too. Lower production costs.
That follows, yeah.
Yeah.
Efficiency gains usually lead to lower costs. Plus, AI lets creators explore tons of options really quickly, different looks, colors, effects, more experimentation.
Potentially more visually exciting results for us watching.
Potentially, yes. And one more thing, personalization. AI opens up possibilities for tailoring content in ways we haven't really seen before, maybe even adapting somehow to your preferences.
Okay, those are some compelling benefits. But of course, there have to be downsides or challenges with integrating AI so heavily into creative fields. What did your sources highlight there?
Definitely. One big concern is standardization. Everyone's using similar AI tools.
Everything starts to look the same.
Kind of, yeah. A potential lack of originality, maybe a homogenization of style. It could become harder for you to spot a truly unique artistic voice.
Yeah, if the AI is trained on what already exists, it might struggle to be truly novel. That makes sense for the kind of things you experience.
Exactly. Another challenge is emotion, capturing really subtle human feelings. That's hard. AI might create technically perfect visuals, but they could feel a bit cold or emotionally flat for you.
Lacking that human touch.
Perhaps. And then there's the data issue. AI is only as good as the data it's trained on.
Ah, bias.
Potentially, yes. If the training data has biases, the AI's output could reflect that, which has all sorts of implications for the stories and images you see. Plus, you get into tricky legal areas, copyright, who's responsible for AI creations?
Huge questions. And what about the artists themselves, the human designers? Does this devalue their skills, the skills that create the films you enjoy?
It's a valid concern, and it's in your sources. As AI handles more technical tasks, the roles might shift. Some traditional skills might become less critical. But human oversight, creative direction, that final polish, it seems like that's still crucial. Refining the AI's output, making sure it actually works artistically, ensuring it resonates with you.
So the picture your materials paint for the future isn't really AI versus humans, but more like AI with humans. Collaboration.
That seems to be the main trend, yes.
Yeah.
Complementarity. AI becomes this incredibly powerful toolkit for the repetitive technical stuff.
Freeing up the artists for the big ideas, the vision, the heart of the work.
Exactly. Which, for you, could mean more focus on truly innovative stories and unique visual styles driven by human creativity but maybe amplified by AI. People skilled in both traditional methods and AI tools will likely be very valuable.
And fundamentally, your sources suggest that audiences, we still value originality, right? That unique artistic fingerprint. So human artists aren't going anywhere soon.
Precisely. If you compare them, like your sources do, traditional 3D mapping gives you that super high immersion, strong originality, but it costs more, though maybe less with AI help, and speed varies. AI video is super fast, super cheap.
But the immersion isn't always there yet. And originality can be a bit generic sometimes.
Right. It's improving fast, but sometimes lacks that distinct signature for you. They have different uses right now, blockbusters versus maybe quick prototypes or shorter content.
Okay, so wrapping this up then, based on everything you've shared from the sources, AI is definitely shaking things up in 3D design and mapping for movies, no question.
It really is.
It's automating, creating new possibilities, but it's not quite ready to completely take over from human artists and their vision, at least not yet. It's more like this amazing new tool set they're learning to wield.
That sums it up well. It's reshaping how visuals get made, handling the heavy lifting, opening doors. But that core storytelling spark, the thing that connects with you, still seems very human.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. As these AI tools get even smarter, especially in visual stuff like film, what does artistic signature even mean anymore? How will that evolve?
That's a deep one.
Definitely something to think about. Well, this has been a fantastic deep dive. Thanks for breaking down that material.
My pleasure.
And if you enjoyed this discussion, you can find more like it on Le Podcast de Philippe.
And hey, if you happen to be watching on YouTube, we'd be super grateful if you could help us out. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers today.
Yeah.
Every click helps.